about they seem to be in the same room communicating, correct? And do those messages go on for hours? And I want to highlight a few of the messages, but to save the jury from looking through all of them right now, what is the gist of these messages? What are they talking about?
The gist of it is they're talking about violence.
And this is the night before Tammy is murdered, correct? We'll start right here with what Tara is saying, right at 11 p.m. on the floor.
You want to go back and over? I want to leave with you. I want to leave. He says, right now. I'm sick of this, let's just go. He says, you want to pack right? He's taking to school tomorrow. What if we did it really early in the morning? Before that. She said, I just want my makeup stuff stuck in this. So, she said, if you stay away from me, I will see you. She said, yeah, that's fine. She said, we're smoking. Girl, I'm saying to fucking do something. You did last night. So I'm going to do it and stay up. You slept. You need a driver down again. She said, I didn't smoke enough and I was exhausted. I'm sorry. She said, well, keep yelling at me, talking like that. And I'm really going to do back then. So tell me where we're going first shooting. He says Illinois, Carolina, Damien, and a little bit to 3 days later he goes to the street. He says I was trying to get home earlier and you said that we just do it and I was asking for a fucking state. You did.
Now, I want to stop right there. Throughout these messages, do Aaron and Tara and Uriah believe there's other people at home?
Something.
And what do they think is occurring? What are they talking about? And at some point, do they also discuss believing they can hear multiple people in the meeting room?
Yes.
And from the investigation and from being at the home and looking at the case overall, was there ever any evidence someone else was in the home that night? what's being discussed? I mean, you can generalize it. And this is prior to Tammy being killed, correct? Alright. And what's Kara saying?
Oh, fuck, never mind, we're traveling with the shit. He says, yeah, and they check luggage, so only conceal this was happening. He says, a good idea to be honest, if you really want to get going like every 2 hours, just so we get disassemble arms and hide arms, and this is what he said. And I'm respecting the shit out of it. Fuck people like that. Shit, disrespect. Fuck that. So, what if you find someone who's trustworthy and hold on? Someone who trusts them so you can come back. This is Preston from his daddy last one. Cold like I can so come back there, you'll see.
This is right at midnight on 4th, going into the 5th. Talk me through a little bit, is that correct? And for most of this is them talking about thinking there's someone else in the house.
Yes.
Okay. At about 12:30 a.m. on the 5th, what does Uriah say?
I did fent again.
From your training experience, what is fent?
Fentanyl.
And then these next images are coming from him.
They're coming from Uriah, South Park emo.
And so all of these are coming in right about the 12:30 hour, correct?
Yes.
Is this also a video sent by Uriah?
Yes.
What does it appear as in that video? I can play it again.
Yeah. It's like a firearm. And looks like a firearm and there's some drugs inside that
And
container.
can we tell what drugs they are, or just through your training experience, they appear to be narcotics?
It looks like it could be meth. What else?
But just to be clear, was that tested, or just from your training experience, that's what it appears to be?
It was not tested. That's just from a training experience.
Okay. So starting here, is this at about 1 a.m. on Wednesday the 5th, correct?
Yes.
What does Uriah say?
You know what? I'm beating the shit out of her when we're done interrogating. Fuck it. Prison with bruises. She reacts to the message with an emoji. And then he says, bones will be broken in prison. Promise. I'll carve a Nazi sign in her forehead and a whore on her face. Don't care. Don't care if I carve a whore across.
Sorry, go ahead.
She says his blood pressure would rise so bad he would shake and have his head in his hands when it was a fuck ton stress, which was a lot for her. He says forehead, and she says neither of you can beat the absolute shit out of her, though.
And what does Uriah say?
He says bad. Pistol whipping her too. You said it's cool. And she reacts with an emoji 2 times. And then he responds, well, the smell, and now we know. What the fuck is, she says sigh. He responds, the spoon in her room was black, right? Yes. Any blue burns? Metal, FS? And she responds with a video.
I'm going to press play on the video here. What room does this appear to be?
It's going to be Tammy King's.
And what is that?
Plate of, looks to me like marijuana.
And is that the same container we just saw with Uriah the night before the murder?
Yes.
This is right there, right? Yeah, that's that. Okay. No, I just have to. Yeah, I was having a threesome no, actually, a person in here. Trying to, and hearing it for keep on the, I get it. And hearing it for, yeah, I've been hearing shit for a day? For 3? Oh yeah, because it was picked. I'm gonna watch.
Do they continue talking for a little while?
Yes.
Alright. What timestamp would this be? Right here where the cursor is.
It says it's 7:54, so it'd be the night before again, on February 4th, the night before. Or, I'm sorry. Yes, February 4th.
So if UTC is -6, what timestamp would that be?
5.
Right here.
Oh, I'm sorry, 1.
So it's almost 2 a.m. on Wednesday the 5th.
Yes.
And I apologize, I keep making you do math.
What does Uriah say at this point?
You want to go find out with guns and me? She responds, no, not right now. I want to do what we're doing till at least 4 if you want to. She says, if that's okay. Or okay. All right, I got you, gang. He says, listen to the wall. Someone's walking to gangs.
And we keep talking for a little bit, correct?
Correct.
What does Uriah say here right about 2 a.m.?
If someone peeks, everyone dies.
At about 2:05, what does Tara say?
Are you gonna do now?
And just following the timestamps, are we still communicating moving into the 3 o'clock hour, correct?
Yes.
All right, let's start here at 3:23 a.m. from Uriah.
He says, can I tell Nanny she knows? She knows, in quotes, I have an AR pre-aimed at the door. She says, no, they might run. She says, I want to stick to the plan as much as possible. He says, yes, ma'am, double click, not us, or song. 2, then 1. Stare at door, listen to wall.
And then do we keep talking about these people that they believe are in the house?
Yes.
So at 4:25 a.m., what does Uriah tell Tara?
She's texting me.
And then he says at 4:25,
You want to blackmail her and fix the relationship? What do I say? She says, we both talk. We're both trying our hardest. I will understand you better. I will listen. I will stop letting my emotions affect. He says, what do I do? What do you, just over on. Not ours, y'all's. What do you mean fix it? She says, I will fix the way I speak to you and I will fix how I react. He says, we will fix ours, I know that. What about hers? What do you mean let me fix it? She says, what have you told her? No, I didn't say that. He said, he responds with the screenshot.
so who is it that the screenshot shows Uriah is texting?
The grandmother, the Tammy King.
Okay. And what is that conversation?
Want me to read it out?
Yeah.
How many adults are in that house with Aaron? Why are you asking? Because she hears 2 women and a man. That's B. Is that a freaking TV on? How would I know? What is she saying in person? That there's multiple voices and people in the house. She's saying she's not saying nothing to you. I'll talk to her. Has she even been to bed, Percy? Yes, she woke up and texted me.
And this is at 4:26 a.m. that Uriah is texting Tammy King, correct?
Correct.
And we know from his messages with Tara, he's actually in the house, correct?
Correct.
And then we see him and Tara go back to talking, correct?
Yes.
What does Uriah say at 4:29 a.m.?
I'm going to kill all of us. I swear to God. She says, baby, stop. And he says, I listen to you. She says, baby. And he responds, and now I'm in the wrong. What the fuck? Faux-eyed foe. She says, no, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. He says, check your door. She says, I didn't know I said that. I'm sorry. She says, it's done. Fine. Not done. But.
And then do we keep talking again?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And we see a couple messages about when I tweak. From your training experience, what does tweak mean?
When someone's high.
I want to move forward to 4:33 a.m. What does Uriah say?
I'm killing her at 5. No problems. Easy house till ride, right? She says, baby, no killing her, please. He says, okay. Blackmail. You don't say shit when we go in. Listen to the wall. Now. She says, I won't say anything. He says, doing? She says, I looked because I heard something. He says, so she's out and in her room? Those taps? Not me, not you. She says, she's in room. Okay. Sweet. Come here. How do I blackmail? Take her phone so she doesn't call the cops, and when we're done, what? She says, wait till she's done freaking out, threaten her.
Sorry.
Wait till she's done freaking out, threaten her to show us where everything is. And he responds, blackmail? Where do we keep our shit? Not here. No one we know or trust. He says, no ride, turn your AC on, fan 2-3. Bro, what? She says, it's on 3. Then AC up, we're on. He says, damn. It's hot, or I'm pissed. I can't hear you. Why look in my direction this early in the morning? Fuck you want me to do for 20 minutes? She says, can you come up so you can cool off? The AC will be facing you. He says, sure, 1 second, sweetheart, come here.
And do we go back to talking?
Yes.
All right, so we're moving into the 6 o'clock hour on the 5th, correct?
Correct.
And what does Tara say?
She says, all times I'm going to pretend to sleep. Like she comes in here, wakes me up, and I just sleep in. If that sounds good. He says, yeah. 6 Chargers, sorry. She says, it's okay, baby. Hide phone light, dim screen, dimmest it. She says, dimmest it goes. She says, I love you. He says, I love you too. And he says, turning phone off. She says, okay. She says, I'm sorry, last thing do. I respond when she wails. She says, I'm sorry, last thing I do. I respond when she wakes. She added a new.
Okay. And now we go back to random texting again, correct?
Correct.
And we're still talking about what Nanny is doing.
Correct.
All right. At 6:21 a.m., what does Uriah say?
I'm keeping her kidnapped. Till we got a ride. She says, what if Terry comes over? Like to check. I'm sorry, we would have her phone and can text. She responds with emoji. She says, I wanna do that. He says, yetter. Door. She says, it's good, the door. She says, it's safe still.
And then we go back to kind of these same sorts of text messages you've been sending all night, correct?
Correct.
All right. At 6:39 a.m., what does Uriah say to Kara?
We will handle it. If she comes in, I kill her. She says, she's about to be back. He says, okay, be ready. She says, can I blackmail her on drugs? He says, not yet. She says, what do I do about her coming back and forth? He says, say you're addicted to painkillers. I'm sorry. It says, say you're addicted to painkillers and jerking off all night. How the fuck I do sleep with a psycho like you?
Okay. And then we go back to kind of the same sort of messages, correct?
Correct.
What does Tara say at 6:43 a.m.?
Don't shoot at all unless she lays hands or something. She says, please. He says, I won't shoot unless she gets close. He says, block that shit back up. The fuck she on her? Put more there. And she says, okay, good. Can I turn big light off and turn lamp over here on?
Does it sound like they're talking about things inside wherever they are?
Yes.
At almost 7 a.m., what is Uriah sending?
Nanny thinks I'm on her side. LMAO. Manipulate the manipulator. She says, seriously, LMAO. I can't get words out. What the fuck? I'm sorry. He says, don't open it. She says, I'm not. I'm scared. He says, just throw Salem through whatever gap there is. She says, so I am very good. Now, he says, now if you can. She says, she's just flipping over. She doesn't go out at all. She says, serious. It sounds like she's just giving up. He says, good. Pile more shit. She says, okay.
And then we kind of go back to more messaging, correct?
Correct.
So at almost 7 a.m., we have another screenshot from Uriah, correct?
Correct.
And what is him and Tammy's conversation?
If you're texting her, leave her alone so she can get ready for school, because if she misses the bus, Percy, all hell's going to break loose around here. I haven't texted her once. What'd she do? Not wanting to get up. The cops won't really do anything to you for it, will they? I thought that was bullshit, the school says. Yes, I can get in trouble for her not going to school. Actually, what the fuck? That's not your fault, though. No, it's my responsibility. She's under 18 to get her ass up to go to school. She just don't want to effing go. I'll let her know how to behave. She needs those credits.
And then what does he say at 7 a.m.?
She's about to die. Don't worry. Blood pressure being threatened. She can't take it.
And then what does Tara say?
If she genuinely is about to go psycho, then do it all now. But if she doesn't act as crazy as her craziest, then don't do anything. He says, yes, ma'am. I mean, she told me it's about to happen. He says, what else do I do, LMAO? Kidding. She says, I know, LMAO, but maybe she won't be too crazy. He says, I'm going to see what she does. She says, ask her what she's going to do. He says, then we confront her immediately after.
And just tracking the time, this is 6 a.m. on Wednesday the 5th, correct?
Correct. She says, if you want and can. He says, what time do I say the bus leaves? She says, I'm not sure. Did you hear her go back to her room? She says, if so, they say 6:05. He says, I did. He says, what'd she say? And she said, I should call the cops on your ass. He says, don't do anything. She says, okay, bitch, what they have to say about your meth pills. She says, I'm that. She says, I promise. He says, you're just missing the bus. He says, that's all. Yell at her, they won't do anything, idiot. She says, can I said they won't do anything, you're addicted to painkillers. He says, open the door. Yes, say that. He says, why? He says, she's addicted and jerks off all night. She says, please no. He says, never mind, to the door. She says, okay. She says, I will say this. And he says, and that's why you can't sleep and she's insane. Don't open the door anymore. Put in pants, bro. Put on pants, please. He says, if the cops get here, just go to the living room so I don't get seen. I'll do something. Promise. But no cops are here. You're sober. She's insane and addicted to pills and fucks all night. She says, can I mention the foursome I keep hearing that day? She says, because that was fucking awful. Do I sit on the edge of the bed? He says, she's trying to get you out of your room. He says, don't go. She says, I'm not going. He says, do not go. He says, file more when you hear the door or something. She says, okay. He says, bus is down there right now. You'll be safe or figure this out soon.
Let me go back to messaging a little bit more, correct?
Yes.
All right. At 6:12 a.m., what does Uriah say?
Want me to go now with the AR? No, she's probably on the phone later. She says, I don't know what to do. What the fuck? I can't go to my dad's. She says, They don't even have the money, bro, and I'm supposed to live with him till like 18.
Do you know how old Tara was at this time?
Don't recall, right?
Does 17 sound about right?
Yes.
What does Uriah say after that?
Yeah, I know. When do you want to go interrogate? She says, when I know she's not going to be okay, I promise.
Is that middle typically a phrase for on the phone?
Yes.
What does Uriah there?
He says, she's calling the school and telling them you don't want to go. Okay. IFY. I got you. She says, are you sure that's okay? He says, she's finna yell about the room and shit too. Watch out. What's okay? Question mark. She says, fuck. Like when I want to go, like when I want to interrogate. I mean, interrogate, take phone and pills, whatever we can.
And just to be clear, Tammy's phone was not located inside the house, correct?
Correct.
Where was Tammy's phone located?
That was located at the 310 Houston Avenue, League City, Galveston County.
Which we know is right by the apartment complex Tara and Uriah were at.
Correct.
We continue talking for a little while, correct?
Correct.
At 6:18 a.m., what is Tara saying?
She says, when we get her phone, we will text everyone and say something like, I've dealt with her already. You don't need to come down here and pick her up. He says, I got you. Don't worry. Easy wins.
Let's move on down to 6:22. What does Tara say?
He says, should I text Mal and tell her to please not come get me? And I'm super fucking depressed and my mental state is awful right now. She's been genuinely having people over at night. I literally hear them and they talking to my wall. And when I confront her, she ignores it and acts like she has no idea what I'm talking about. When I have seen them and that I block my door in because I'm scared of her, I do not want to leave. I need a break and tired. I'm exhausted. She won't help with my mental health or anything.
Now, from your training and experience, is narcotics use something that can make somebody feel paranoid?
Yes.
All right, at 6:30 a.m., what does Uriah say?
6:30, he says, your grandma's going to be held kidnapped first. She says, I don't know, just need to get out of here. Get out of here. He says, door soon, maybe front or she's pacing. He says, yeah, LMAO, throw that away, that's her flowers. Wait, sit there. What's it sound like? I know you're overwhelmed, I'm sorry, but please be quicker. She says, okay, what if Terry banned them come or my dad come anyway? Do I just explain what's going on?
And are we back to just kind of messaging again?
Yes.
Okay. And then we're at 6:43 a.m. Tell me what Tara says.
Because what if family starts looking for her or some over, even though we text everything's fine? He says, she's only getting kidnapped, not killed. We good. She says, I know, reacts to the message. He says, I hear her, I think. I want to end her. She says, me too. He says, I'm so fucking gone. I'm not here. It's insane. She says, Remy, I asked Remy and killing and everyone. She says, ride. What the fucking...
Some typos.
Yeah.
And then we kind of go back to more messaging.
Yes.
At almost 7 a.m., what is Tara saying?
She says, I really need help bad. Do you have a car? We need to be driven to Illinois and then Wyoming. We will give you anything you want, please. We have money we can give you. We need to get away from my house. My grandma's insane. She does meth and heroin and brings creeps that peep into my room and meth dealers to my house to have sex with them. Please, if you can, we need a ride. We have gas money too.
Did y'all, from your knowledge, did you locate any heroin in the home?
Not to my knowledge.
And to your knowledge, did you find any other items that looked like narcotics besides that bowl we talked about earlier?
To my knowledge, no.
What does Tara say after she sends that message?
What I want to say, is that good? I have not said. He says maybe. What do I do? She says, baby, you're okay. 7, right?
And this is about 7 minutes before 7, correct?
Yes. He says, I know, but why shelter? She says, I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying. They can't force me to just, go. We will be okay, I promise. She says, are you okay? Can I grab trash bags? Baby, should I go confront her? Baby, please, can we do this together? I can't do this alone. And he says, I'm here. She says, should I go? Look, I promise you're okay. I need you. Please don't leave me alone. You can just sit there awake. I don't mind, please. I need you, though, please. He says, what's up? She says, I need you here with me. Please don't pass out. I'm begging. And he's gibberish and says, my mistake. She says, you can smoke. I can help you. Please just wake up. I need you. I promise I won't fall asleep anymore when you need me. I'm not meaning to cry or freak out. And he's
some gibberish.
Gibberish he's texting. He says, I promise I won't pat out. I'm sorry. Okay, it looks like T.I. He says, I'm just stressed. I don't know. She says, it's so scary and stressful. He says, in sorry.
Do we kind of continue going back and forth with this?
Yes.
Okay. At 7:20 a.m., what does Tara say?
if she's not on the phone, what you want to do? I'm getting trash bags here. He says, okay, put all back, please. He says, thank you. She says, okay, it's Goose. He says, thank you. She says, you're welcome, honey. He says, can you hear her out there? She says, sounded like maybe on the phone. He says, bro, I'm awake. Just damn. She says, I can't hear words, just mumbles. He says, this is insane. She says, mumbles. He says, you. She says, she's definitely on the phone though, or using TTS. I'm committing. He says, dude. He says, ISTG.
Is that typically I swear to God?
Yes. She says, if she randomly comes in here, I can ask her who she called about me and who's coming over, if anyone is. You're going to be okay, honey. He says, no. She said, or he says, the fuck you sound dead. Sus.
What does sus mean?
Like suspect.
What does Tara say at 7:26?
I know I was going to ask if after I ask that and she gives answers, we could interrogate. It's fine if no, just suggestion. I don't know what to do since she called my dad or whatever. We can get an enter with her Vard. Uber with her Vard. Baby. Oh, forgot. He says, calm down. I know. Not far though. Not enough.
What does Tara say?
She says she has a lot of money on her bank card. Last I saw was $44K. He says, how much right now? She says, she def got more though. He replies, that's not now. She says, we still have a lot. I know we do because she hasn't started being weird about money. And he says, you can go look if she's on the phone and she isn't, then I rob and interrogate. She says, I love you. He says, I need a big bag. Oh, I'm sorry. I need a big shit shirt. I love you too, darling.
And we kind of keep talking again, correct?
Yes.
Okay. What does she say at 7:34 a.m.?
I'm gonna go check.
Uriah
He
says,
says, don't open it too much. She says, no, not on the phone. And he says, you're sure? She says, yes, it's TikTok. He says, checking living room windows and a lot. She says, okay. So I leave the door cracked. Dude, leave. And he says, leave open. She says, check. He says, tell me when it's fine, then come back. She says, it's safe. He says, when I stand, open the door, make sure it's TikTok. She says, okay. He says, you here? She says, yes. He says, okay, one sec. She says, right outdoor because I can't hear well from inside my door. I go check now. He says, go. She says, yup. He says, is it phone? She says, talk rock. TikTok. He says, let's move to back. She says, yeah, wait till they leave. He says, who?
and what does this mean right here? What's happening?
A call was made
Between them still?
between the two of them.
And what does Uriah say at, oh no, I can't.
3.
Go backwards. So we see a jump in time, right? So here we're at 7:39 a.m., correct?
Correct.
Now when we get here and he says, let's move to the back, what time is this?
That's
It's 11:45 Sunday.
yes,
So we've jumped from 7 a.m. to 11:45 a.m., correct?
correct.
Okay. And Uriah states, let's move to the back.
Yes.
And what does Tara say?
Yeah, wait till they leave. He says, who? And this is the phone call.
Okay. And then at 1:20 p.m., what does Uriah say?
Murder charges, murder charges go through every state with a warrant.
And then?
Give no one our location ever. She says, I'm not, don't worry. He says, thank you. Your phone isn't tracker. She says, no, it's not. Isn't. He says, I know. He says, your GED, your prom, our marriage, our kids, my family, your family.
And this is about 4 p.m., is that correct, on Wednesday?
Correct.
What does Tara say in response to all those messages from Uriah?
Baby, everything is okay. We will have a normal life someday, honey. My family was never really amazing. I only knew the people I talked to you about. We will make it together. He says, yes, ma'am, I hope so.
From y'all's investigation, during that 7 to 11 a.m. hour, is that when Tammy King was murdered?
Yes.
I'll pass this witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. Officer, my name is Bill Agnew, and I represent Uriah Urick, who's sitting here to my right. And going through those messages, I mean, it's obvious that both of those kids had a lot of animosity towards Grandmother, right?
Yes.
And that they didn't like they didn't like living there, and they wanted to get out of there, correct?
Correct.
I mean, it's just obvious, reading there, that there's a lot of animosity. You're dealing with someone who's 17 and someone who's 18. One of those stories that we've had, people talk about for a long time. We've got two young kids who think they're in love and they want to get out of the environment that they're currently in, right?
Yes.
I mean, that's something that's been going on for a long time, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And so, when you look over those messages, one of the things that struck me is I know y'all say you didn't find meth or you didn't find heroin, but why would they make that up? I mean, that's something that they put up there, not knowing that this was going to be something anyone was ever going to see. Why would they just make that up?
Calls for speculation, Your Honor.
It appears that there was some, at least, validity to an allegation that they used meth or heroin. Would you agree with that?
Calls for speculation, Your Honor.
Okay. What they complained about was she was using meth and heroin, correct?
Say that again?
They complained about her using meth and heroin, correct?
Correct.
Okay. They also complained about her having meth dealers over, correct?
Correct.
They also complained about her having sex with multiple partners, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So those are all three things that they were saying that they were angry about having to live there. That would not be a healthy environment for a 17 or an 18-year-old, would it, if those things were going on?
Correct.
Good. And I don't know if you know, but I mean, was there any other environment that they could have actually gone to at that point? Could they have gone and lived with another parent, or could they have gone and lived with somebody else?
As for her, my understanding, she has a father, so I would say that.
But I mean, presumably, Tammy had custody because she wasn't living with her dad; she was living with Tammy, and Tammy was the one who was responsible for putting her in school, right?
Correct.
Okay, so that means that she's got custody. If she's got custody, Tammy can't just go live with her mother. She's got to stay where she has custody, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And that appears to be a very, very unhealthy environment reading those messages. Would you agree with me there?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And I'm not saying one of the things you handled were right, but you've got situations where you've got two very, very, very young, what I consider kids, in a very, very unhealthy environment who just desperately want to get out. I mean, isn't that how everything reads?
It reads to me that those situations that you just said, in their opinion, was going on,
Okay.
and that they wanted to get out.
And one of the other things that I thought was interesting is one of the things that Tara said was she hasn't started being weird about the money. So apparently they had a fair amount of access to money already, right?
Calls for speculation, Your Honor.
Stated he doesn't know. So.
Okay. But I mean, that's how that appears, correct?
Calls for speculation.
Overruled.
I mean, isn't that how it appears? I mean, for her to say that, it appears that they already had access to money.
It appears that she saw what she had as far as how much money she had.
But she said she hadn't gotten weird about the money. You know? You saw that, right?
I did.
Okay. And we also saw that apparently they also had access to guns before this ever happened. He has a picture with a gun on one of their videos that they did on that chat, correct?
Correct.
And they talked about some of the guns that they already had, correct?
Correct.
Okay. I'll pass the witness, Judge.
Anything further?
Yes, Your Honor, just briefly.
Okay.
May I approach the witness?
Yes.
May I publish States 426 to the jury, Your Honor?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, Detective Espinoza, earlier I asked you if any heroin was located in the home, and you said not to your knowledge, correct?
Correct.
And you testified that that blue bowl, to your training experience, looked like meth or another narcotic, but we don't know because it wasn't tested, correct?
Correct.
Now, I'm showing you a page from 426, which is Ms. King's toxicology from her autopsy report. Now, in the positive findings, do you see heroin on there?
I do not.
Do you see methamphetamine on there?
I do not.
Is it fair to say that what's in there is some ethanol, hydrocodone, and weed?
Correct.
Now, Mr. Agnew also asked you about would that living situation that Tara and Uriah are describing be healthy for children to live in, correct?
Correct.
And I think we can all agree that no, what they described wouldn't be healthy, right?
Correct.
Now, as previously, were there any signs that there was anyone else in the home that night?
No.
And in fact, we saw the messages between Tammy and Uriah, and her response to him saying there's two women and a man was, that's bullshit, it's the TV.
Correct.
And I want to ask a hypothetical. Even if what Tara and Uriah's paranoid beliefs had occurred, were happening, is that an excuse for them to rob and murder Tammy King?
Absolutely not.
I'll pass this witness.
No further questions?
Thank you, sir. You may step down. Call your next witness.
The state would call Agent John Miller.
Okay. Everyone good over here? Okay.